Okay. So if you want to bring yourselves into the center of your mat and sit whichever way is most comfortable for you. Imagining that piece of string that's attached to the crown of your head is being pulled up so that you can lengthen out your spine, relax your shoulders, and just place your hands wherever is comfortable for you. And when you're ready, let's empty our lungs of all the air that's in it. And together, start to draw in a deep inhale through your nose. Once you get to the top, just pause slightly and then exhale everything out through your mouth. And again, start to draw, inhale in through your nose. And out through your mouth. Every time you exhale, just see if you can make your muscles in your body a little bit softer. Again, long inhale. And out through the mouth. If you haven't done so already, start to close your eyes, or if that's not comfortable, just start to dim your eyes and look more towards the floor. Let's remind ourselves that when we do classes that involve stretching as the main principle of what we're doing, that breathing is important to do alongside it. I mean, that does go for any aspect of yoga, but especially when we're doing slower stretching classes. So reminding ourselves that our inhale is used to lift and strengthen, to hold things strong. And our exhale is to soften, go a little bit deeper, and to relax. So just take a few more breaths. Find a nice rhythm of your breathing. And just think about when you're going to bring in your inhales and strengthening, and your exhales and your relaxings. Good. Now, as you next inhale, let's draw our hands to the side as if you're reaching for something that's almost within reach. Good. Let's lift our shoulders towards our ears and then take them back and down. Good. Let's turn the palms as if you're scooping something up. Lift our arms to a Y shape. Lift those shoulders again. Roll them back and down as you exhale. Before inhaling again to lift the arms right towards the top. Good. Now let's start to interlace our fingers. Turn the palms this time up towards the ceiling so we're stretching out the insides of our wrists. Good. Now start to do circles as if you have a pencil attached to your palms and you're trying to draw a big circle on the ceiling. Just move yourself in broader and broader circles each time you move around. Moving a little lower each time you come forwards, a little wider to the sides. Good. Now next time you come forwards as if you're pressing your palms forwards. Let's turn our hands and press our fingers towards the ceiling. Good, now lift your arms up. Press the top of your wrists towards the ceiling. Uninterlace your fingers, bring your left hand down beside you, and then bend over to the left-hand side. Now go as deep as you wish here. Pause and take a breath. Inhale, let's strengthen and reach a little further. Exhale, just see if you can sit. Good, let's windmill our arms all the way over. Do the same stretch on the other side. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, soften. Good, come back to center, reach both hands towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, let's fold forwards as far as your body will allow. Your head become loose. Nod your head yes and shake it no. And then send a breath towards the back part of your body. Good, let's roll the body up. Quick twist to the left. And a quick twist to the right. Before making our way onto all fours. And let's take our knees just a little bit wider than you normally would. Good, hands are roughly underneath your shoulders. And try and lengthen out your back. Okay, so if your bum's sticking up like this, maybe lift from your lower back to straighten it out. Or if you're a bit rounded, maybe lower your chest more towards the floor. Good, now spreading your fingers nice and wide onto the mat. We're going to pull ourselves forwards over our fingers and then send ourselves back towards our heels. Good, so keep these forwards and backwards movements going. Every time you inhale, pulling forwards. Every time you exhale, pushing back. Moving at whichever pace is right for you. Good, let's bring ourselves back towards that neutral spine. Good, slide your knees so that they're a little bit more underneath your hips this time. So they're going closer towards one another. Good, when you're ready, we're going to slide our left leg back, press the heel back, and then once it's straight, lift it up towards the ceiling. Good, now press with your hands nice and firmly. Try and lift yourself as high as you can. Now see if you can curl this left knee underneath your body and step it as far up in between your hands as you can. Now, if you don't quite manage to do that, that's fine. Just get as far as you can and then manually move your foot towards the top of the mat. Good, now let's start to sink forward. So press into your knee, but try and see if you can keep your heel down on the floor. So you should feel a stretch running down the back of your calf and your Achilles tendon. Good, then make your way back towards center. Good, see if you can take your hands back a little bit and then do the reverse. So shift your bum back and then come back to center. Good. Now let's see if we can slide our right leg back just a little bit more so we get more space underneath our hips. And again, inhale, bend into that left knee and look forwards. Good, come back to center and then shift the hips back as far as you're able to. Good, and then come back to center. Let's see if we can shift our right leg back just a touch more so we get even more space. Good, again, bend as much as you can into that left knee. Not going to be able to bend as much as that back leg goes back. Look forwards. Feel your inner thighs stretch. And then again, lift your hips back as much as you can. Good. Let's come back to center. Now in this wider legged low lunge, I want us to lift our arms, bring our hands down towards our chest, and then turn. And if possible, bring your right elbow on top of your left knee, taking it into a twist. Breathe. Good, let's come back to center. Lift our arms, stretch out your torso. And then exhale, let's bring our hands back towards the top of the mat. Good. Now find a way to just slide yourself back to all fours, in whatever capacity that looks like for you. Good, let's wiggle our tailbone from side to side, and then maybe bring a little dip into your elbows and shoulder blades. Good. Let's reconnect with our breath here. So all together, we're going to take a long breath in through our nose and a long breath out through the mouth. Then find your rhythm of your breath. Good. When you're ready, inhale, let's slide our right leg back. Press the heel back so that it's nice and straight, feeling the stretch in the calf, and then lift that leg away from the floor. Good. Press nice and firmly with your arms to help lift your chest up away from the floor. Good. When you're ready, let's curl this leg again underneath and step the foot up in between our hands, taking time to shift that foot higher if you haven't managed to get it up in one go. No problem. Good. When we're ready, bend into that right knee as much as you can, but until you feel the right heel lift off. When you do, shift it back a bit so you can press your right heel down. Look forwards. Good. Let's shift our hips back as far as you're able to. Good. Let's rebend into that right knee. Shift our left knee back a little bit so we get a little extra space here underneath our hips. Again, inhale, bend into that right knee. Feel the stretch on the inside of your thighs. Breathe, strengthen. Exhale, release. Good. Let's shift our hips back as far as you're able to. Again, breathe. Good, let's rebend and come back to center. See if you can take your left knee back a little bit further. If you can't, then we'll just do it again where it was before. And again, see how much you can bend into that right knee. Look forwards. Inhale to strengthen. Exhale, release. Good, then when you're ready, shift your hips back. See how straight you can make your right foot, leg. Breathe. Good, and then come back to center. Good. When you're ready, we're going to lift into a low lunge, wide-legged low lunge. Hands come down into a prayer. This time, let's turn to the right. If you can, bring your left elbow on top of your right knee and press your hands together nice and firmly so you can help you twist around a little bit more. Breathe. Good, and then come back to center. Reach your hands up towards the ceiling and then fold forwards. Again, sliding your right leg back so we end up on all fours. Give your tailbone a wiggle. Maybe even do a little bit of cat-cow here, just to loosen up your torso. Good, hands come forwards
a little bit. Making sure your fingers are nicely spread and the weight is trying to go down the fingers. When you're ready, tuck your toes and lift yourself up and back into downward facing dog. Good. Hold yourself here nice and steady in your downward facing dog and breathe. So trying to lift your bum up as high as you can, stretching out through your back. Keeping your breath steady. Few more breaths. Good. Now start to bring yourself forwards. Lower your knees to the mat. Good. Pull forwards a little further over the tops of your fingers and then lower yourself to the floor. Untuck your toes, roll your shoulders back and come into a cobra. Good. Let's lift our hips and press ourselves back to a child's pose. Breathe. Again, find your breath. Feeling your chest expand into your knees. Good. Let's start to press our hands down and then pull ourselves up onto all fours. Good. Tuck your toes, bring your hands a little further forwards, and then lift yourself up and back into a downward facing dog. Good. Now as you inhale, we're going to draw our left knee underneath us and try and step our foot up towards the top of the mat again. If it doesn't quite reach it, same as before, just help that foot get towards the top. You can drop your back knee down to do that. Good. Then when you're ready, we're going to lift into a high lunge. Good. Now see if you can press the weight forwards into your front foot. And either through a series of steps or one motion, bring yourself to the top of your mat. Good. Inhale to reach your hands up nice and high, and then exhale. Hands come into a prayer, come down past your face, and fold yourself over your legs. Good. Let's take hold of either elbow. Let your head hang loose, and then just rock yourself from side to side. Good. Let your hands come back down to dangle towards the floor. Roll the body up. Good. Reach your hands up towards the ceiling. Good. Then we're going to bring our hands down onto our waist. Good. Now press more weight into your right foot and either through a series of steps going slowly towards the back of the mat, or in one big movement, take yourself back into a high lunge. Good. Let's lift our hands up towards the ceiling. Bend nice and deeply into that right knee. Good. Then we're going to fold ourselves back down towards the floor and slowly slide our right foot back so we come back into downward facing dog. Good. Once you're back in downward facing dog, just cycle through the backs of your legs. So bringing each heel in turn towards the floor and bending the opposite knee. Good. Again, inhale, pull forwards into a plank. Knees come down if you wish. Lower yourself down through chaturanga. Curl yourself back into cobra. Breathe. Good. Then lift yourself back into a child's pose. Good. When you're ready, press your hands down, pull yourself back up. Hands come a little forwards again. We're going to go back into downward facing dog. Good. This time, let's bring our right knee forwards and step it up as far as you can in between your hands. Once your foot is there, lift into a high lunge. Good. Again, either through a series of small steps or one big long step. Come all the way to the top. Good. Reach your hands up nice and high. Fold yourself down towards the floor. Either take hold of either elbow or interlace your thumbs behind your back and fold. Hold it there. Good. Then no matter where you are, roll yourself up. Reach your hands back up towards the ceiling. Good. Interlacing the fingers and pressing the palms to the ceiling. Slowly, let's start to drift over to the left-hand side. Back to center. Over to the right. Back to center. And then bring your hands down onto your waist. Good. Let's take our feet so that they are just over hip distance apart. Toes are pointing straight forwards. Good. We are going to slide our left hand down our right leg, keeping our other hand on our thigh. Hip on our hip. Good. So we're taking it into a little side stretch and twist. Now just hold it here and breathe. Again, inhale, strengthen your legs together. Exhale. See if you can bring your hand a little bit further down the leg. Good. Nice and slowly, let's start to draw ourselves back up. Bringing that hand back to the waist. Before then exhaling to then take yourself down the opposite leg. And again, inhale, strengthen. Exhale. See if you can come a little bit lower down that leg. You should feel this on the outside of the leg that you've bent toward. Breathe. Good. When you're ready, inhale. Let's draw ourselves all the way back. Let's take our feet a little bit wider and lift our arms so we're making a big X shape with our body. Good. When you're ready, take a long breath in, reach your hands up nice and high, and then exhale. Let's take our left hand towards our right foot, come all the way back up, and then take the other side as you exhale. So let's just keep these movements going. See if you can make them nice and fluid. Notice where it stretches your body. Good. Last one. Pause when you get back to the top. Hands come together, down into a prayer, towards the chest, and then start to bend your knees, shift your hips back into a squat. Good. Hold yourself here. Breathe. And then re-extend. Good. If you're not at the top of your mat already, then make your way towards it. Bring your hands onto your waist. Good. Again, we're going to either step or small steps, or one large step to take your foot all the way back, your right foot, the back of the mat, into high lunge. Reach up. Good, and then fold forwards. When you're ready, let's slide our left leg back and go back and up into downward facing dog. Again, bending in through your knees, lengthening out the backs of your legs. Good. When you're ready, pull forwards into a plank, bring your knees to the floor if you wish, or if you want to keep them raised as you lower yourself down through a chaturanga and back into a cobra. Hold yourself here, breathe. Good, then shift your hips back into a child's pose. And breathe. Now with your hands, you can either keep them forwards, you can rest your elbows down on the floor if that's possible, or you can wrap your arms around your body, around your feet, whatever you prefer. And then come back to your breath. Good, nice and slowly, let's start to move our hands forwards. Pull ourselves up to all fours. And then lower ourselves down towards the mat. So we come down onto our fronts. Good, now keeping our legs nice and straight. Tops of the feet are pressing into the floor. Hands are down by the sides of our chest. Good, when you're ready, I want you to lift your feet away from the floor, then your shins, then your knees, and then the tops of your thighs. Hold it there, look forwards. Use your lower back to help hold you in place, but relax your shoulders and your jaw. Breathe. Good, and then lower. Turn your head to the right. Long breath in. Let it go. And then bring your chin back onto the floor. I'm going to do the same thing again. So lift your feet, your shins, your knees, and finally, as much of your thigh as possible, look forwards. Lower back engages, shoulders relax, jaw relaxes. Breathe. And release. Turn your head to the left. Long breath in. Let it go. Good. Bring your chin back so it's facing the floor. Good. This time we're going to take our hands and either interlace the thumbs behind our bum or just reaching our hands back. It's entirely up to you. We're going to do the same thing again, but this time use our hands to reach back and lift our shoulders away from the floor. So when you're ready, lift the legs, shoulders, as much as your body as possible away from the floor. Again, you're able to interlace your thumbs if you wish, if you find it easier. Breathe, hold yourself steady, squeeze your bum, and then release. Turn your head to the left or right. And then turn it the other way. Good, then bring your chin back onto the floor. Good, we're going to take our left hand out to the side, palm facing down, and we're going to bring our right hand next to our shoulder onto the fingertips, elbow pointing towards the ceiling. Start to bend your right leg, and then nice and slowly roll yourself onto your left hip, and if possible, bring your right foot behind your left leg. So you should feel a stretch on your chest muscles. Breathe. Good. And when you're ready, slowly start to roll yourself back over onto your front. Swap over the way your hands are. Now, if like me, you can't send your right hand out to the side, just cactus the arm. So bending the elbow, keeping the elbow in line with your shoulder. When you're ready, let's bend the left knee. And then roll yourself round onto your right hip, bringing your left foot behind you if possible. If not, just let the foot dangle, the leg in the air. Listen to what your body is enabling you to do. And breathe. Good, and when you're ready, gently roll yourself back onto your front. Let's bring our elbows close into our bodies. Press down onto our forearms, moving ourselves into a Sphinx pose. So resting on our elbows and forearms, relaxing our shoulders, looking forwards. And again here, as you inhale, strengthen your legs. And then exhale. Good. Press yourself up to all fours before sinking yourself back into a child's pose. Option here is to interlace your thumbs behind your back and reach them towards the ceiling. It's up to you. Then wherever you are, uninterlace your hands. And slowly roll yourselves up so that you're sitting on your heels. Good, the next part is going to be on our shoulders. So if you are uncomfortable sitting on your heels, you can always swing yourself around and sit on your bum. It's entirely up to you. From the lower half of your body, just make yourself as comfortable as possible, just so that you can sit up straight. Good, when you're ready, let's lift our arms towards the ceiling. Let's start by bending our right elbow behind our head. Okay, now you may be able to get that arm back as far as this, where you can press your skull back into the crease of your elbow, or it may be more like your wrist or forearm, or even just your hand. It's just as long as you're starting to press the arm back, opening up your armpit and pressing your shoulder blade round. And you can use the other hand to guide you here. Once you have it in place that's comfortable, just wrap the other arm around your back. And again, if this isn't possible, either just placing the back of your hand on the outside of your left hip. Kind of like an odd looking teapot. And then wherever you are, breathe. So keep pressing your head into whichever part of your arm it's able to press into. Inhaling here, squeezing your shoulder blades to begin with. And then releasing them. Good, and then release everything down towards the floor. Just shake out your arms and loosen up your shoulders. When you're ready, we're going to inhale again and lift our arms back up towards the ceiling, this time bending the other elbow behind
our head. So again, finding where is suitable for you. And once you're happy with where your arm is, maybe bringing the other arm around. Again, inhale, strengthen your torso. Exhale, release. And then when you're ready, just allow your arms to come down by your side. And again, just wiggle your wrists and your elbows and your shoulders. Okay, let's shift ourselves off of our heels if you're on your heels and onto your bum. And then we're going to arrange our legs in this sort of fashion. So we're going to bring our left knee so that it points forwards, mainly leaning more onto our left hip. Bend the knee at a right angle if you can. And then the right knee touches the tip of your left heel. Then again at just under a right angle. Now, if you're leaning off to the side here, then you may want to stick a cushion underneath the hip that you're kind of resting on, just to level yourself up. Good, we're going to bring our hands into a prayer and then start to take our left elbow down to the crease of our left knee. Turn and look to the right. Hold it there. Before bringing yourself back to center. Good, let's arrange our legs in the same way, just in the mirrored version. So this time taking your right knee forwards, pointing forwards, right angle. Left knee touching the tip of your heel. And again, if you're leaning over, wedge a cushion or something underneath your bum. When you're ready, hands come into that prayer, and then leading with your right elbow, go down into your right knee crease and turn to the left. Breathe. Before bringing yourself back to where you were. Good, wherever you are, let's just bring our legs forwards and out onto the mat. With your hands, slowly allow yourself to come back. Engage your ab muscles and your chest muscles to help stabilize yourself as you walk your hands back, and maybe use your elbows to gently draw you down towards the floor. Let's bring our knees in towards our chest and gently just rock from side to side on your lower back. Good, taking hold of just your right knee. See if you can lift your left leg towards the ceiling. Just stretch it out. And then do the same on the other side. So bring your left knee in, stretch out your right. Good, and then gently rock again from side to side. Bringing the feet down just behind your bum. Taking both hands over your head to reach towards the back of the room. Start to just windscreen wiper your legs from side to side, getting more broad with each stroke. ready, let's slowly start to press our legs forwards, bringing our hands back down by our sides or to rest on our belly. Take a long breath in through your nose and hold your body strong. And then as you exhale, release. Just allow yourself to melt into the mat. Just allow your breath to soften. Unwrinkle your forehead. And allow your face to relax. And then when you're ready, start to wiggle your toes and your fingers and your nose. Start to take a nice long breath in through your nose. And as you do, draw your knees in towards your chest before rolling yourself over to either the right or the left-hand side and pressing yourself up nice and slowly so you come back to your seated position. Good. Take a long breath in. And a steady breath out. And nice and slowly, flutter your eyelids open. Thank you for joining. A deep stretch. I hope you enjoy the rest of your Wednesday and your week. I was going to go for a walk, but it's raining cats and dogs at the moment, so I might have to postpone that one. I don't do walking in the rain. But whatever it is that you are doing for the rest of your day, I hope you enjoy it. But to all of you who have practiced here today, but most importantly to yourselves, we can bow and say, Namaste.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.